fuck is America? What is America nowadays? That's what I want to know. Because in my eyes, this is not America. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the corner. I am the DM as always, and today I want to talk about something. Okay, now as you can see on the screen, I have Philip DeFranco pulled up. I'm at 9 minutes and 26 seconds in out of his 33-minute and 13-second video. Okay, um, and in this part, he's talking about a case of this woman called Adriana. Now, she is a Georgia State nurse, and she has been pronounced legally brain dead. Okay, she is also pregnant, currently, I believe, 21 weeks pregnant. The hospital has stated that the reason why they are keeping her on life support is because Georgia law basically says that they have to, right? And they don't say that it directly states that they have to. However, because of the ambiguity of the law, they say that they're basically taking the "I'd rather be safe than sorry" approach. Now, ignoring the fact that this is insanely fucking inhumane and fucking dystopian, right? To know that a woman who is legally dead can just be forced to remain alive as a fucking vegetable because someone else who isn't even a part of her family, immediate or otherwise, has decided that they're going to remain a vegetable. Okay. Now, I have quite a few issues with their argument. Okay. However, I want to go and I want to set the stage. Okay. So this is the law that they are referring to. Okay. This is on justia.com. It's, you can see right here, this is the Georgia state law, okay? And I'll have a link to this down in the description, okay? And it says, quote, "A person commits the offense of criminal abortion when, in violation of Code Section 1612-141, he or she administers any medicine, drugs, or any other substance, whatever, to any woman, or when he or she uses any instrument or other means, whatever, upon any woman with intent to produce a miscarriage or abortion." Okay, so the reason why they're afraid of this is because of this last one, right? With intent to produce a miscarriage or abortion. They're afraid that if they terminate life support, they're going to be basically seen as doing it with the intent to produce a miscarriage or abortion, right? However, here's the fucking thing, okay? All of this is fucking bullshit. It's meaningless. None of it fucking matters. None of it can be used against the hospital. Full stop. They have complete legal immunity. And here is why. Okay. So, on Justia, another Georgia law, okay, from 2024, Title 31, Health, subsection 31-1-1 through 31-54-4, Chapter 10, Vital Records, subsection 31-10-1 to 31-10-33, Section 31-10-16, Criteria for pronouncing death and immunity from liability. Okay, so in here it says, Section A person may be pronounced dead by a qualified physician, by a registered professional nurse, or nurse practitioner authorized to make a pronouncement of death under Code Section 31-716 or 31-7-176.1 by an advanced practice registered nurse authorized to make a pronouncement of death under subsection 0 of Code Section 43-34-25, or by a physician assistant authorized to make a pronouncement of death under Code Section 31716 or 317.176.1 or subsection J of Code Section 4334103 if it is determined that the individual has sustained either 1. Irreversible cessation of circulatory and respiratory functions, or 2. Irreversible cessation of all functions of the entire brain, including the brain stem. B. A person who acts in good faith in accordance with the provisions of subsection A of this code section shall not be liable for damage in any civil action, and here's the important part, or subject to prosecution in any criminal proceedings for such act. This means, by the letter of the law, that this law means nothing. Nothing. Zero. They have complete and total immunity from criminal proceedings when it comes to Adriana. Legally speaking, they are allowed to stop life support for Adriana because she has been pronounced legally dead via brain death. And just to further prove this point, so over on NPR, okay, this was reported back in May 20th, okay, and they talked about this and talked about how it's raising legal questions, right? And they're talking about how this case is raising complicated legal questions about restrictive abortion laws, right? Obviously referring to this. However, if you just look at the fucking letter of the law specifically states that if they are acting in good faith under the knowledge that a authorized person has declared Adriana legally brain dead, they are completely and utterly shielded from any look here. I'm gonna fucking zoom in, okay? Okay, I'm gonna fucking zoom in right here. Any criminal proceedings for such act. This is crystal fucking clear. This is the most crystal fucking clear case I've ever seen, ever. If anyone were to try and charge them with either civil or criminal, because it also covers any civil action, right? If anyone tries to, their case immediately fails and gets thrown out because the hospital is completely and utterly immune. And here's the kicker, okay? None of this should fucking matter in the first place. Adriana's family didn't get a fucking say in this. It's not like the doctor, like they could have like maybe said like, well, we don't think that she should, and then the hospital decided to do it anyways. No, they didn't get any say whatsoever, and they are the only one who should have a say in this context. The only one is Adriana and Adriana's family. And in this context, where Adriana is brain dead and literally cannot do it, her family is the only one that should be allowed to make this call. Now, do I blame the hospital? No, and I'll tell you why. The hospital isn't the one making the laws, okay? Now, yes, this law does completely and make them completely and utterly immune to all forms of like charges, civil and criminal. However, the ambiguity of this law causes them to be hesitant, and they aren't the first ones. We have seen countless times over and over and over where fucking doctors refuse to carry out an abortion under any circumstance because of these kind of laws that are just so vague. Because this law basically says that, like, if you cause a miscarriage or abortion and someone thinks that that you had intent to cause it, then you are now a criminal. You have committed a criminal offense. This is the kind of horseshit that's going on in America, and it's the kind of horseshit that no one's fucking talking about. Okay? Like, yes, of course, fucking Philip DeFranco is talking about it, right? The family's talking about it. Some of the Georgia state representatives are talking about it. But that's it. That's all that's talking about it. You don't see members of Congress in the Senate talking about it. Obviously, you're not going to see fuckface Trump talk about it. And you don't see any other fucking state talking about it. Constantly. These are the kind of fucking stories that should be on the news every single night until something is done about it. Every single night. Every day, every afternoon, every night. These kind of stories should be the only ones on the news. I don't give a fuck about Billy Bob who just shot up a store for the 27th time. And the reason why I don't is because that shit has happened 27 times. He should already be in jail for life after the first time. That's why I don't care, because clearly nothing is gonna fucking happen. But those kind of cases also fall into this exact same category, where it needs to be fucking talked about. But it's happening so much, and that kind of thing isn't being talked about except the one time it happens. And then when he does it another 26 times, no one talks about it. It's been a really long time since I've made a video like this, where I'm just so utterly furious with our lawmakers, with the people who are supposed to be representing us. That's something I don't think people understand. And I don't mean like the average Joe Blow. No, I mean the people who are being put in these positions. The things that they say are entirely because of their own desires, their own agenda. It's not, they don't talk about these things because it doesn't help their agenda. The only people talking about it are people in Georgia. I am just. What the fuck is America? What is America nowadays? That's what I want to know. Because in my eyes, this is not America. Land of the free, home of the brave. That's what I was raised on. That this country was land of the free, home of the brave. How the fuck are we the land of the free when we don't have the freedom to make choices about our own body? How the fuck are we the land of the brave or the home of the brave when we have people too fucking scared to say shit because some fuck faggot bitch motherfucker is in the fucking president's house right now destroying our fucking country? How the fuck are we? We aren't. This is no longer America.